Now, F1 as a sport is no stranger to some extreme weather conditions. From torrential storms, which can result in us having a one-lap race, to unbearable heat that leaves drivers fainting, and even huge sandstorms that we saw in testing this year, F1 has really been through it all. However, there is one weather condition that the sport likes to try and avoid more than others. One which, despite all the technical advancements and all the smart people working on the teams these days, we have still yet to see F1 racing.
Snow!
Just because we haven't seen a 20-car grid of F1's finest and the Nikita Mazepin race around the North Pole, that doesn't mean that F1 and snow have never crossed paths. Here are some times where F1 got a little bit too friendly with snow. Oh, that was a terrible idea. So, as mentioned before, F1 has a very interesting relationship with snow, in that it goes out of its way to avoid it at all costs, except when they want to use it for marketing, sort of like my girlfriend in this YouTube channel, really. But there has been some cases in the past where us fans have been close to seeing our dream of 20 F1 cars skirting around the ice. For example, Red Bull, being, you know, Red Bull, have showcased their cars in a place just as cold as Helmut Marko's heart multiple times, with Buemi taking the Red Bull for a spin on a frozen lake in Canada in 2010, in order to mark the return of the Canadian Grand Prix, and even more recently with Max Verstappen in 2017, as he hit the Austrian slopes in the RB7, which was fitted with chains around the tyres. Sick. Nick Heidfeld also drove in a frozen lake back in the day, with Hakkinen at a similar-ish time taking his missus out in a two-seater for a spin in the snow, which wasn't actually that much of a spectacle because, you know, they're Finnish, so they felt at home, really. Renault also did a little demo at a ski resort in Dubai, which sounded nice. However, that wasn't Renault's only experience with snow, as in February 2005, during a test at Silverstone, Fernando Alonso had to take that saucy Mild 7 logo around the track in some fairly heavy snowfall, which is cool, but also nothing in comparison to the conditions they had at the Nürburgring when they sent out chief instructor Andy Gilden in their Formula race car, which I know isn't F1, but it's very cool, so I thought I'd share it with you anyway. If you've got 5 minutes, lads, I recommend you go watch the full on-board video. It's very, very cool. I mean, look at it. Great bit of content. Now, back to actual F1. I know I've made it very clear at this point there has never been an actual Formula 1 official championship race where there's been snow. Well, according to the internet anyway, I could be totally wrong. But in 1973, there was a race that had 13 F1 cars in it, held in the snow, taking place at Silverstone in the 8-week gap between the South African and the Spanish Grand Prix. The BRDC International Trophy was held as a non-championship event to keep the F1 drivers sharp and well practiced during the long break. The grid was made up of 13 actual F1 cars, as well as 16 Formula 5000 cars, and included names such as reigning champion Emerson Fittipaldi, Ronnie Peterson, Jackie Stewart, Clay Regazzoni, and even bloody Niki Lauda was there. The race began with an icy chill in the air and, you know, a very icy track as well, which caught out Stewart as he spun from the lead early on. However, it wasn't long till the snow began to fall as well, just adding to the chaos, with new leader Ronnie Peterson spinning off, as did countless other drivers, including Jackie Stewart again. Yet he did manage to somehow come back through and win the race by the time the checkered flag ended, which basically summarises all F1 racing in the 70s. After the race, the snow continued, and the mechanics even had a snowball fight in the paddock, which apparently ended up with them playing with a different sort of white powder. But okay, I may have made that bit up, but it was the 70s, so I mean, it is probably true. Anyway, these days, it's super unlikely that anything like this would ever happen again. Not only because non-championship races are a thing of the past, but because we all know if any decent amount of snow actually fell on a racetrack, the FIA would red flag the session before Mazepin could even spin out, so sad times. Anyway, lads, that's pretty much every time that F1 and snow have crossed paths. I'm sure I've missed one or two instances in my research, so be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. If you know more about F1 than me, it can't be that hard. But yeah, hope you enjoyed today's video. I know it's a bit different, so hopefully it was still good. But until next time, lads, I've been Aiden. This is MrAidenRule. I'm going to go back out in the snow now because it's going to melt very soon. And yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Subscribe to me right now. Click here to subscribe and click here to watch another video from yours truly. Do it now. Come on. It's your time you're wasting. Right, sound in a bit.